Are you wasting money on the wrong ad platform? Well, in this video, we're gonna break down the differences between Google Ads, Facebook ads, and what is the right choice for your business.
Before diving into specifics, let's understand why each platform is crucial. So it depends really what your problem is. For e-commerce brands, they often struggle choosing between Google and Facebook, and there's really different intents here. If you make the wrong choice, you kind of waste your budget and you miss kind of potential customers. And each platform actually has a different purpose.
So diving into that, we'll start with Facebook first. So I think most people understand what Facebook is. It's a social sharing platform where people can post pictures and videos of all sorts of things. Now, this is really great if you have a very image heavy product. Maybe it's something that's uniquely looking or that is hard to describe with words. So this is great for image-based products. It's also great for doing any sort of brand awareness. As people are scrolling through their feeds, they're able to see new images and new brands pop up. And then for Facebook, it's really based off of audience interests that Facebook predetermines people and categorizes them as. So if you are really looking for someone that has a specific niche, this might be the best place for you.
All right, Google Ads. We really like to say Google Ads is for intent to buy. So when people are searching Google, their intent is to actually buying, so to capture buying intent. These are really like text-focused ads, and sometimes there is also like a shopping. So when you type like best watch, you'll see like some watches show up at the very top. And it's really a direct response focus. So you want to target active buyers who are searching for the products they want to buy. So if you type something like buy blue Nike running size shoes 10, you'll see a bunch of those shoes show up onto the search. Another benefit you have with Google is it has the largest keyword volume search engine. So of course it has a lot of data that people from people searching, and then you could use that when you're like trying to sell your product.
Let's talk about when to choose which platform and how to know where to go on the platform. So you basically want to choose Facebook when maybe you're starting a brand new business. There's not as much search volume for your product, so people are not necessarily already in the know of what you're doing. You are selling, like I said, a visual product, something that maybe looks unique or is more difficult to describe with words. Facebook is a good place to start. Or when you're trying to find new customers, you can do this based off of interests, behaviors, and demographics a little bit easier with Facebook.
So when to choose Google, when your products have an existing search demand. So obviously if people are already searching for your product, you should be using Google. If you want to target by ready to buy customers, so people who are actually looking for your product, they're going to search you and are ready to buy. If you're also offering a local service, that's also very good to use Google, because then you can search business near me. And then if you have an established product market, because obviously when I'm buying Apple products, I'll just go to type Apple and it'll show up right away.
Yeah. Okay, so now that you know which platform to use and when, let's talk about some of the specifics. So people always ask us, oh, what's cheaper, Facebook or Google? Now, that is highly dependent on your actual industry or product that you're selling, or even seasonality. What we have found is that Facebook generally has lower budgets initially. You can start with $10 to $20 a day, whereas some industries you need much more than that for Google. Cost, so CPM, cost per mil, or it's cost per 1,000 impressions, it can really vary from $7 to $15. It works a little bit differently than Google, and I'll let Gregory describe that in a little bit. But like I said, this really can vary depending on competition, your industry, your seasonality, that kind of thing. So just keep that in mind when we say these budget frames, because that may change. Facebook generally requires budgets to be able to support multiple variations of either your creative, your ad text, your different variations. So just make sure you have that in mind when selecting Facebook.
All right, so what kind of budget do you need on Google Ad? So that really depends on keyword research. That's typically the first thing you do on Google is you do type your website or your product into Google Keyword Planner or Google Trends, and you find really a few things. One is the volume, like how much people are searching your terms, how competitive that is, and then what's called CPC, or cost per click. And so higher CPCs range from $1 to $5 per click. That means every time someone clicks your ad. And then really the game for Google is optimizing the keywords you're targeting, kind of developing negative keywords, which we'll talk about in a future video, and refining what you see on search terms to feed back to your keywords. And the difference from Facebook is heavily image and video ad focused, at least in Google, there's a heavy on search terms because Google is the largest search engine in the world. So really you want to optimize text over any graphics or videos. All right, so let's cover what you'll need to manage these platforms successfully.
So generally for Facebook, you want to be doing creative refreshes every 1 to 2 weeks. You'll see this thing called frequency. It's how many times that your ad has been shown to the same set of people. And there's a lot of different benchmarks for that. Generally, you want to keep it under 2.5, but that can change depending on, your particular industry, seasonality, if it's a winning ad or not. So keep that in mind. For Google, there's something called keyword optimization. So that is, making sure you're bidding for the right keywords, making sure you can afford those keywords. And then there's a whole nother side of that with search terms and demographics that we can get into in another video. Both will need conversion tracking set up properly. For Meta, it's the Pixel. For Google Ads, it can be through GA4 or Tag Manager. So ensure that you have both of those set up and connected to the correct website or product. For both, they need regular performance monitoring. So you want to make sure that you are not just starting your ads and then walking away and coming back months later. You want to be checking every few days to every few weeks at the most, but make sure you don't just set it and forget it. For Google, there are a few things that you can do to leverage both Google and Facebook for dynamic remarketing. What remarketing is basically taking a data set and showing the ad maybe to your website visitors or people who have purchased before, and you can do that with Google and Facebook. But again, that can be covered in another video. And then lastly, the important thing to know about both platforms is that they have their own versions of audience management. For Google, that's like signaling and interests with your PMAX groups. And for Facebook, that's like audience and demographics. Again, this is something that is very dependent based off of your industry or seasonality, but make sure you're keeping an eye on who you're targeting and when.
All right, for both platforms, don't forget to do your competitor analysis so you can kind of look through the different ads library for Google and Facebook to see what your competitors are doing. Also, it's very important to A/B test. A/B test your creatives, your landing page, your copy, because if you don't know what's working, then you don't really know if you're improving or not. Pay attention to your budget. So, you want to focus on when is the best time to increase or decrease your budget based on the trends you're seeing. And then you can also make sure you look at cross-platform attribution. So whether you're on Meta ads for Facebook and Instagram or on Google with other search engines, advertising on other partners, keep attention to that. And then of course, regularly keep track of your KPIs. So for Facebook and Instagram, it's cost per 1,000. Cost per acquisition is very important. And then on Google, it's things like conversions and ROAS and cost per click. If you're ready to take the next step in your journey and want to start up your Google and Meta ads, click the link below for a free strategy meeting.
All right. Thank you.